We're the Youth Power Coalition, an intergenerational community of both adult allies and youth leaders working to power youth-led collective impact in New York City. To better amplify youth power, the Youth Power Coalition has the opportunity to earn $20,000 from the New York City Civic Engagement Commission, It's Our Money proposal. A youth voter-decided participatory budget in partnership with Coro New York Leadership Center Participatory Budgeting Youth Fellowship Program. This participatory budget is a core step in engaging and addressing the issues, needs, and interests of young people across New York City. A member of the Youth Power Coalition, Sophie Zhu, will now go in depth on why you should vote for us on the It's Our Money proposal.
Thank you so much, Samantha. Hi, everyone. I'm Sophie Zhu. I go by she, her, hers pronouns, and I will quickly read off the screen just for those who are unable to view it. First of all, I'm a co-founder of the Youth Power Coalition, also known as YPC. I am also the lead and secretary role holder of the Internal Comms Circle. I am the secretary role holder of the Mission and Advocacy Circles, and I'm a member of the Business and Governance Implementation Circles. Lastly, I'm the former facilitator role holder of the Internal Comms Circle, as well as a rotating facilitator role holder of the Team Coordination Circle. Okay, we'll get right into it and talk about why it's really important, and it would be wonderful if you would all vote for the It's Our Money proposal, which the Youth Power Coalition drafted recently, the Advocacy Circle drafted. First of all, I think it's very important for us to consider what a youth power-led platform means. A youth empowering platform means we, one, center youth in leadership roles, we, two, lower the voting age, and three, sustain accurate representation and engagement. This means young people make decisions for themselves and by themselves. This also means we combat ageism and tokenization of people and instead forge this intergenerational solidarity that we can all use to build a better, stronger future. As well, I think it's very important for us to realize that a lot of young people don't feel empowered. They don't feel that they have the right to take action. And this means they don't know how to get involved, they lack the resources to do so, and they can even lose different loved ones because they don't have access to resources that allow them to gain the right to life and etc. So what are these long-lasting implications representative of? They're representative of this systemic problem in which a lot of young people simply are excluded from different opportunities to engage and gain equity. This also means we have to combat the nonprofit industrial complex, which we're working against, because it simply implies that nonprofits help uphold capitalism when we want to dismantle it. We want to say that we will empower youth financially and say that capitalism will be weaponized by us. We will befriend capital and instead use it as a means to seize our own liberation. I think that sounds very flowery and visionary oriented. So I would transition now to talk more about why we have to accurately represent people. First of all, a lot of you probably are still wondering, what is this platform about? This platform is about celebrating underrecognized and underrepresented or misrepresented young people. This is about understanding that we are a community, understanding that young people should draft demands for themselves. This also means within schools, a lot of movement building does not center young people, meaning a lot of administrators go ahead and make decisions for youth, but while excluding young people. This is why student government is turned into a popularity contest, and a lot of students aren't even able to speak up or draft bills of rights for themselves and for their fellow peers with each other in a collaborative way. I think this also means we have to be aware of why we need young people to be in spaces to feel heard and comforted and needed and valued. And if we want to meet these equitable needs, we have to ensure that we build a collective youth platform, even globally, one day, globally, to ensure that young people can say, hey, we want to stop being treated as pawns. We want to integrate. We want to desegregate schools. We want to be ones who govern ourselves in regular circle meetings, similar to a sociocracy, but in different school spaces. We want to be the ones who decide that young people can be protagonists of their own lives and ban private schools, abolish private schools, or uplift public schools and distribute funding more equitably. And in short, those are some awesome effects that can occur if you decide to vote for the It's Our Money proposal. But we'll move on now to quickly explaining again what it means to center youth, because I know I was talking a lot about why it's very important for youth to be centered in this work. This doesn't just mean creating new oppressive positions, such as saying that there should be a youth mayor, right? Because while those positions or roles are helpful in the short term, all they do in the long run is let youth be subject to a greater system that doesn't like them, and it pits youth against other youth. So really, we can't have this type of representation where young people are pitted against each other. We must let young people be delegates. They must be autonomous, agency filled delegates who independently act for themselves and with regards to their communities. So when we're talking about centering youth in leadership roles, while it's cool to, let's say, have a youth deputy chancellor in the short run, we ultimately in the long run want to make it so that even a mayoral role doesn't exist. We want to make it so that we dream big and say even those exclusionary, systemic, segregationist structures do not exist, because we don't want to perpetuate harmful oppression if we have faced the oppression, right? That just goes against the logic. Okay, and I think it's very important for us to recognize that YPC as a whole is about building societal infrastructure. Youth are not there just to fill quotas. Youth are not there just to be visible, right? We have voices, we have thoughts, we have feelings and beliefs. And this means if we are simply there as tokens, if we're there just for a purpose but without any de facto voting rights, then we are being stripped of our human rights and we are being neglected. And I think that's a very disgusting reality that sadly is normalized a lot right now in the status quo. And how can we change that? Ultimately, this is why I want to end by saying we must center and ally with those most impacted. We must weaponize and befriend capital. We must ensure that young people take the reins. And you can do all of that with youth power, because while we love greater visions such as abolishing the police, or not to speak for others, but I love such visions, or I love centering and building interracial solidarity with Asian Pacific Americans and other people of color, and etc. We must make sure that we take the first step, which is empowering young people and making sure that they can speak up and be educated and have the equitable rights needed for that. Thank you, and we will now head on to Samantha and Farzana on how to vote and how to do so effectively.
Thank you so much for that, Sophie. Because we don't have much money, the Our Money proposal gives us an opportunity to earn $20,000 to fund our organization. If you support the work that the Youth Power Coalition does and wants to do, and would like to vote for our proposal to help us receive this funding, you can go to bit.ly/voteypc. That's bit.ly/VOTEYPC. To learn how to vote, keep watching and watch the step-by-step tutorial with Farzana, another member of the Youth Power Coalition. Thank you so much.
Alrighty, so in order to vote for It's Our Money and this amazing amount of money to go to an organization, there's a couple of steps that we have to go through, but it's a little bit complicated, but we're gonna walk you through it so it's much easier than you think. So we're gonna go to the corner and put sign in. Sign in with nyc.id. And then go to create an account, because I'm sure most of us does not have an account for this website. And then we're gonna fill in these fields. Alrighty, so now once you filled out all these fields, you're gonna go and press create account. All right, so now you're gonna have to go to your email address and you're gonna have to press the link that they sent you. And then yes, you're gonna press click this link. All right, and now you can move on to continue. So now we can press, once you press the link, it's gonna lead you to this website, but this isn't the website that where you have to cast your vote. So now you're gonna put in manually the website participant.nyc.gov. And now you're gonna be able to cast your vote. So you're gonna press vote now. But first, you're gonna actually have to sign in again. And now, since you have an account, you can sign in with nyc.id. But now you have to fully complete your profile. So you're gonna have to put in your name and a nickname that you want for the website. Ready? Now you can complete your profile and then agree to the general terms and conditions. It is somewhat of a process to cast your vote, but it'll all be worth it. Alrighty, now reach the bottom. I agree with these terms. And now you're gonna be able to cast your vote. So you can vote up to 5 different projects, but in order to actually cast your vote and for it to go through, you need to vote up for at least up to 2. But again, you can vote up to 5. So you're gonna pick 2 different projects in order to cast your vote. Alrighty, we got 1 project. Now we need to cast 1 more vote for another project. And there's so many different options to choose from, but one that catches your eye. Alrighty, now that you casted 2 votes, you can go up and press vote. And then you can just confirm if your age is 9 to 24. And now you casted your vote and you're ready to go. Thank you for voting for whatever project that you voted for.